and just sort of like, how much do I want to share? Because like, you don't have to share anything. You don't have to do anything. Like I could have hid my whole pregnancy the whole time. You do not have to share it.
I'm curious about that, like privacy.
Yeah. I mean,
what things?
I mean, people want to know everything about you, but when they find out everything about you, they don't care. Like they
might not like it, you know,
or they might not like it, or it like there's like 20 different ways to say hi, right? So like, if you do something more complex than that, like, guys, I'm a parent, like, oh my gosh, people still are shocked that I am a mom because I don't share that because it's not my content. But yeah, it's definitely, you have to decide what you want to do. And if you decide like, you know what, I shared a little bit and I don't want to share anymore, you don't have to. Or if you're like, man, this is great, like I feel free or relieved, or like it's working out. But yeah, it's just more of like a protection thing for me. And I would rather have people in my channel that are enjoying me and like the content I'm making, rather than like, can we see your kid? Like, do you know what I mean? Because kids are always going to be popular on the internet. They just are. But yeah, that was sort of like my journey recently with figuring out like, what do I share? Do I give baby bump updates? Do I share my pregnancy? Like, I feel bad. There is a level of guilt because like I've been able to pay for my rent because of streaming. I've been able to support my children because of streaming for over 5 years on my own. And there's a level of like, do I owe anyone anything? Do I owe an explanation of why streams are lesser or what? Or does it even matter? Like, that's sort of been like a big topic for me lately.
Mine was the opposite. We went from being very closed off to borderline becoming our own little reality TV show, and that was with a wife who didn't want to share anything. That was she didn't even want to, like, she didn't want to be on camera. So I would stream, and this is back, and I don't want to say it directly correlates to the money, but the revenue definitely influences how seriously the people around you take it. So like everywhere from this, you know, from like, for me, it was my spouse all the way out to my in-laws and my parents and like aunts and uncles who wanted updates and stuff like that. So it used to be something that I kind of carried a little like bit of cover on because I didn't want people to find out, and Amber didn't want to be on camera. And so when she'd like, you know, check in on me or say she was leaving, I'd say, just poke your head in. She's like, no, I'm good. And now it's evolved, like, you know, and I wasn't going to force her. Right? Yeah, now she streams 3 days a week. Aww. And she just plays. I mean, for her, it literally is just a hobby. It's like, it's her, instead of going out and doing like margaritas with the girls, she comes in and wants to play video games. But, you know, for her, she did it once to cover for me while I was at St. Jude. And she went on my channel and the bug just bit her. And so she's been, even during graduate school, when homework's not too overwhelming, she feels an obligation to stream and goes and finds games and plays them, and made more doing that as a part-time gig when the boys were asleep 3 days a week for funsy dudes than she would have at like a retail part-time job. And she doesn't have to leave the house or get out of PJs. So it's weirdly migrated to a place where like Grayson, my oldest son, was doing an MLK presentation today, and he had to be dressed as MLK. So he had a suit and he had a mustache and had his hair nicely parted. And he came in because he wanted to show me and chat, like, don't I look great for my presentation today? And everyone was like, I also have a lot of older viewers. Like most of my viewers are parents, are like, I'm not in the competitive shooter area, and I'm not a woman, so I don't have to dodge as much creep as almost every other woman on the platform, including my wife. Like my wife will have 20 viewers, and some guy will come in and be like, "So feet photos," and it's like, Jesus, man! Like she's in a sweater. She's like,
I would say how much, and I only take bits.
That's right. It's pay me first,
but and then we'll talk. Usually like, oh, I'm cute. I know. They'll take the compliment for me.
Yeah, it just, you know, I don't have to deal with I don't have to deal with nearly as much harassment either for the game that I play. Like my audience makes it so simple. My audience makes it simple to just be. I guard things. I don't guard a lot, but I guard some things.